Team, are you considering discharging? If so, this one's for you considering discharging. Make sure you know what you're doing.
I am out here for you. You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you.
We choose truth over facts.
Never go full retard.
Come on, man.
Hey team, how are we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and I am here on request of AKA Popeye, AKA Navy veteran, to do a 10-minute video on the subject of discharging from the military, from the ADF, from Army, Air Force, Navy, Police Force, Fire Brigade. And I've got some points to deliver, and some of these may be pertinent, some of these may be not. The very first question I want to ask you, why are you getting out? Are you disgruntled? Have you done your time? Is it for your missus? Is it for your kids? Maybe been in for a long time. Maybe you need them to settle. Maybe they're special needs. Is it because you're disgruntled from the immediate boss you have now, and that's the worst reason you can get out, because most people don't like their boss for some reason or another, the burden of command. Maybe you don't understand where he's coming from. Maybe he's selfish, maybe he's a dick. You need to know why you're getting out, because remember, this was your dream job. You're calling, you told everyone about it when you actually enlisted within your said profession. So you need to know why you're getting out, and it can't be your missus' reasons. It has to be yours. The nagging doesn't stop just because you do what you're told. You know that, don't you? Because this is how you pay the bills. This is how you put bread on the table. You don't want to make a decision based on someone else's thought process of what they want the future to look like, and then create resentment within your relationship. So that's point one. Understand exactly why you're getting out. And I'll tell you something else. The grass is not greener on the other side. Step two, the best thing you can do is join me on Patreon right now in the link below. Why? The Bat Phone is here for you for one-on-one correspondence with someone who's been out now for nearly 7 years. Didn't even realise the time went that quick. Subscribe to the channel, team. Click and like. And you and I can have a one-on-one conversation. I can tell you all the pitfalls that you need to know with transitioning out of the ADF from someone who's actually walked those steps and the only person potentially in your corner ready to help right now. So do that. The next point is know what you're going to do next. Don't get out and then plan, I'm going to have a gap year for myself at the age of 35 and then plan what I'm going to do next. You have to have something there, because we're in troubled times. You need some mental stability, and that comes from having assurities from finances and understanding that your administrational dilemmas and requirements to serve yourself and others, the bases are covered. So make sure you have something to go out for, and that is absolutely a promise. Discharge used to be 6 months, now it's 3 months. That means that you do not have time to have commitments for the Army, loyalty for your bosses, for your mates, for your friends, which we'll get into in a moment. It has to be about discharging. And so that you don't run into hurdles with your chain of command, you need to have transition, cell appointments, doctor's appointments. Are you getting out for medical reasons? You need to have appointments for removals. You have to have appointments for job interviews, for retraining. Because what that'll do is take the wind out of the sails for anyone that says we need you to do another 2 weeks out the ocean, sorry cabin boy, before you actually discharge. You've got to be able to say no, and the reason I can't do it is because I've got these appointments, and you're entitled to those. 3 months goes as fast as a fart in an elevator. Doesn't even make sense. You are gonna face backlash from your hierarchy, because they need to squeeze as much as they can out of you, because you're a number at the end of the day. Remember that. One of the first things you need to do before you discharge is contact your friends that have been out for more than a year and ask them what the current pitfalls are. Get on my Bat Phone, ask me, and we'll have a discussion, all before you actually sign away your dream role career. That's very important, because there's going to be things that fall out of that you didn't anticipate, that you don't need to be tackling after the 3 months stop clock begins. So do that. Once you have signed the discharge paperwork, you need to get in touch with the transition cell as soon as you can. They'll put you in a transition seminar. What they will do is prepare you for your discharge, but sadly again, it's more geared towards truck drivers, towards cooks, towards people like clerical that already have off-ramps to jobs that are almost exactly the same in civilian sector. That doesn't really cater for the hardest people to deal with, and that is artillery, submariner, okay, some pilots classes, okay, whether it be infantry, whether it be cavalry, whether it be tanks, to be able to tell those people and weaponize them to let them know their man management and their problem solving capabilities are phenomenal. And the civilian sector does want you if you're a good egg. They do. You need to understand the chain of command cannot help you in this. They are still preparing for war, for the threat which is ahead. And that's what is meant to happen. You might have welfare boards that are coming up. Be respectful. These people want to help you. They're supposed to be still preparing for future threats, but now they're looking backwards to assist you. So leave with honour. Go in there, communicate well, with respect, and understand that everyone in the room is there to assist you. But remember one thing, there is not one person in the chain of command can assist you on the knowledge or the anxiety that is built up by your discharge process, because they've never discharged either. They're still in your dream career. So when you ask them and get blank faced back, guys, do not expect the chain of command to have the answers. The CSM, the major, okay, the corporal, the sergeant, the bombardier, the SIG, they're not going to know how to do it because they've never discharged either. They don't know the anxiety. They don't know your family situation. Everyone's situation is uniquely different. You need to understand this one, and this can hurt. Your mates and your friends. Mates versus friends. It's a completely different thing. Some mates are friends as well, but they do not have time to keep in touch with you when you discharge and you move to another postcode somewhere else in Australia. Okay, what's going to happen is they will disappear that quickly. They still have a role to do. They still have field coming up. They still have commitments that are coming up with their families, with their lives. Don't expect it to be just a happy, jolly situation. And also be careful of living on Facebook, trying to maintain the benefits and the links of staying engaged with those that are serving, because your relevance to that has disappeared now. Now you are someone who used to be in the military. You're not going to be anymore. And the minute you walk out of that gate, you're not allowed back in unless you have clearance or someone with you that signs you on, walks with you, chaperones you for certain events. Unless it's Anzac Day, then everyone's allowed on the base almost with no ID. It doesn't make sense. What I'm trying to get at is when you get out of the military, the time goes so fast. There is so much that has to be done, and that includes moving out of your rental assistance, your defence housing dwelling. Understand that you are not tied to a bond, which means whatever damage is there, you're going to pay the entire thing beyond what you would in a bond in a civilian sector. I'll give you an example. I didn't clean my bins, so I had to pay, I think it was $140 for someone to clean the inside of a bin, which is designed for holding the gizzard of a pig. Makes no sense to me. And I didn't get to choose who came and did my area beautification of my rental assistance property, okay, that was in Singleton. They called in Jim's mowing. There was no time for a quote, and I got overcharged to buggery. And the cabin boy knows about buggery, doesn't he, Navy veteran? So guys and gals, this is a quick one. I can do a second one with more detail where I can drop it down, but in conclusion, it comes down to this. It is a deliberate action to discharge from the military, your dream job calling. You need to do it properly. There is ways to get out for administration reasons or choice, and then there is medical. They are two completely different roles. There is so many things that happen that drop out, and the best thing you can do is communicate with me prior to signing discharge or prior to actual discharge itself, because I have almost all of the answers to assist you, and they can be found on here for the price of a cup of coffee a month. Navy veteran, I hope that helps. And honestly, guys, I can't go into any more detail because every single person is a different ingredient on that supreme pizza, so to speak. get in touch. I look forward to assisting you, helping you, and taking away that anxiety. But guess what? The grass is not greener on the other side, and you need to have hobbies. You need to have friends. You need to have a mission to be able to prepare you for the rest of your life, which should be, fantastic as well, if it's done correctly. Don't leave with regrets. Check this out for a sec. That's what happens with a green screen when you put something green in front of it. My eye! All right, team. And to all of those that have done their time, they're looking at getting out, whether it be medical, whether it be administration, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for your service. And I look forward to hearing you. See ya.
Wow, that is really hard. You really think you can go all day long? Well, you always left me satisfied and smiling, so...
That's what she said.